Let's go to Sam. I haven't seen you in a while, Sam. What's happening, brother?
Hey man,
Hey, dude.
long time no see. Hi. I'm trying to make a bed frame right now.
All
Oh
right.
my God. Yeah, I'm not very handy. But actually yesterday I felt a bunch of frustration and I was like, oh, this is a good equanimity practice. I was about to bash my head against the wall. Um, but what I wanted to ask you about was I want you to, if you feel obliged to, I want you to talk a little bit about like health issues and physical symptoms that can come with this process. I actually remember the first time you mentioned it was probably like 3, 4 years ago on Facebook. I asked the question of like, why would someone want to go deeper into the awakening process? It seems like Eckhart Tolle is talking about presence and I am, and he seems pretty happy. And then you mentioned a lot of people have health issues through the process, and so they want to keep it going to, you know, and shadow work. And I didn't know what all that stuff was at that point. But then I'm seeing people I'm seeing myself with all this stuff coming up, but I'm also seeing people who are pretty deeply, awakened, maybe emptiness and stuff like that. And like, Adyashanti had a bunch of health stuff. I don't want to name people who might not want to have that, but Adyashanti and other people amongst that. And yeah, just wanted you to talk a little bit about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, Pamela, would you like to start or would you like me to start?
You can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great question, Sam. So a simple answer, and I'll unpack it, but a simple answer is without whether we like it or not, whether we know it or not, we're going to have some expectations about this process that it's going to make us somehow invincible. Like it's going to get us this special pass where we don't suffer from physical um from illnesses, from age, from aches and pains, from physical pain. We often have some expectation around that for whatever reason, is what I find. A lot of times you don't even know it's there, and then you uncover it later, especially when you start having those challenges come up, and we're all going to have health challenges sooner or later. But the simple answer to that is it's just not true. That this process isn't going. It's not a get out of jail free card in terms of the relative challenges of being a human. You're still going to feel pain. You're still going to may have, you're going to have some kind of illness, but you may have very significant, you may have a chronic illness. You may have a life shortening illness that can happen. This doesn't get you out of that. And it's magical thinking to think otherwise. And it's if you go through this process and in deeper realization doing shadow work, you will face that. You'll have to confront that belief. You just will. And that can be a really, really sticky one for some people. Um, Now, keeping it simple again, on the other side of that, there's a real beauty when you finally accepted the fragility of this body. Like Pamela said, and this is my experience, what it often comes down to is death, and that death is right here, right now. We're all dying. Everything that's alive is dying, and it's so beautiful. Like it's so beautiful. I'm giving it back all the time. I have to. I have to surrender to this. I have to acknowledge at the deepest cellular level, this body is decaying and dying. And that gives life forms of all shapes and sizes energy to be what they are. There's no other way. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful web of energy. But to arrive there, you can't think your way into that. To arrive there, you have to go through the shadow. You have to go into that well of grief. You have to go to the last place you want to go. And you may have to do it multiple times. And it's fucking heartbreaking and it's challenging and it's also amazing. And you can do it. You absolutely can. No matter how much doubt you have, no matter how much hesitation you have, no matter how much you've dissociated in this lifetime, you can unlearn that trauma that told you you don't have the right to be fully awake and realized and alive and vulnerable. You do. Um, that's the kind of summary answer to it. I think that's all I want to say at the moment. Pamela may have more. I'm sure she does.
Yeah, so I was just sort of doing a thought experiment the other day of like, what if the opposite were true? Like, what if nobody died? What if we all lived forever? What if that tree kept being that tree until the end of time? What if everything I've lost in my life was exactly as here as whatever is here right now? What if every memory was as real as this apparent present moment? That'd be pretty fucking crowded after a while, So it's like it's actually kind of a grace that we get to just slide so smoothly through this ever like instant in every instant it's completely refreshed and yeah, there's going to be a moment of death apparently, although it doesn't exist right now, but you don't have to worry about that right now. It's not here. So I don't know, just some thoughts.
Hmm.
What a question for you, Sam. In all that we said a lot, we unpacked a lot with that phases of life, illness, death, age, relinquishing, all of it. What is it in that whole thing that is most interesting to you, or most triggering, or most salient for you?
Well, first of all, it's interesting that you guys talked about death because it seemed like that wasn't what my question was about, but that's something I've been thinking about a lot. That was like another thing I wanted to ask you. So it's funny that you talked about that. So that's the first thing. I think in everything you said, it felt pretty triggering. Um, it just felt pretty tr I was it made me think of how like as soon as someone is born, it's like a death sentence. And it made me think that it's kind of fucked up. And I don't know. I I've been waking up like pretty frequently recently, and I've been just gripped with the realization that like I'm gonna die, and then like my heart be starts beating, and then I'm like, oh, can't think about this right now. I need to go back to sleep. Um, but it's been happening a lot. And then I almost died a few times when I was a kid. I almost choked on a sugar cube twice. I almost drowned once. So, death has always been something that's been kind of like in the back of my head.
We'll be doing the deep shadow process with you in a few weeks. I would recommend bringing up some of those experiences from childhood. They're almost certainly related to all of this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember most of them. Just the
Your
drowning.
body does. Your body
Yeah,
remembers.
for sure.
There's a somatic memory there, almost certainly.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. So it sounds like from what you said, you think it's related to me asking the questions about. I thought I was just asking questions about like physical ailments, but it sounds like it's related based on how you both answered.
All right. You, we'll get you. We're going to get you through this, buddy. I mean, you have so much heart and so much vulnerability and honesty. You always have. Every single time I've ever interacted with you, you do. Um, and this is the challenge of all challenges for anyone to get through this deep stuff, this shadow of the shadow. It's not easy in any way, shape, or form, but it's doable.
Well, I just want to say in one sense, it's actually, I mean, it's definitely scary, but in one sense, it's actually a breath of fresh air. I was telling someone this yesterday is like the stuff with death is the only stuff that like there's no story about it. Like all the other emotions is like I'm not good enough, I can't. But the death one is like it's like so animal, so basic to like just being alive. Like
Mm,
it's almost nice in that way that it doesn't feel personal. So
mm. You're right. That's it. I agree. That death is where I meet oblivion every moment. I mean, it is where personal meets impersonal in a beautiful way. But yeah, right on, man.
cool. All right, look
It was
forward
good to see you, buddy. We'll see you in a few
yeah,
weeks.
yeah, see you.
All right.